and even Journey to Silius, another Sunsoft title, which, even though that was supposed to be, I think, the first movie Terminator game, but that ended up being a great title as well. But I'm working my way up these random cliffs, and like I said, they do a really good job at strategically placing all the enemies in places, to be an annoyance, number one, but you have to know what's ahead before you, look before you leap, is especially correct for this game. And now I'm working my way up this long set of pipes. Like I said, never knew Batman could jump this well, but I'm really not complaining about it. Watch out for the spinning thing so I don't take any damage from those gears. Trying to get up. There we go, and just over it without taking any damage, and springing my way back and forth. Watch out for another one of the flamethrower guys. There we go, take him out. And continuing up. Watch out for those revolving gears again, because I will take damage from them if I accidentally land on top of one. After a very long journey up, watch out for another one of these tanks, which is pretty easy to deal with. They're not too challenging to dodge their bullet, and after only a few shots, they're taken care of. Okay. And here we go with the worst boss in the game. Now, this boss, I'm going to tell you right now, is going to take me a little bit in order to beat. And I have really, two strategies, two parts to work with him. You can use, you can try to glitch him like I was doing there to get him to keep jumping, facing the same wall. If you get him when he's facing the right or left wall, where the wall he's standing close to, he'll just jump straight up in the air and fall right back down, and you can get a good hit on him. But also, you can just keep jumping back and forth between the two platforms and time your shots in order to do damage to him. Now I'm trying to get him stuck here and hit him, and this is going to really take a long time, because the only other strategy, if you have full health, you can just go running into him and just keep punching him, especially with a turbo or whatever button, and you'll be able to probably kill him before you run out of health. The thing is, I went into the battle, unfortunately, with only, 4 hits left, so there was probably going to be no way I was going to be able to take him out with only the little bit of health if I just ran in and charged right at him. So I have to just wait my time and try to manipulate him to at least be able to give as many shots as possible. Wait for him to jump. There we go, another shot. I'll probably end up running out of my shots before this battle's over with. So it's a pretty good amount of hits it takes to finally kill this guy. Like I said, he's probably the longest and most annoying and worst boss in this game. And he really is a pain in the butt if you try to fight him head on, but he's really not that challenging if you learn this strategy. It's just time consuming, which sometimes is just the worst. And if you accidentally fall down, I mean, just climb your way back up. Sometimes you'll probably take at least 1 damage like I did, unfortunately, there. But it's not, it wasn't too bad, just taking the 1 damage. As I'm slowly depleting my resources here of weapons, like I said was going to happen, and just screw it. I'll just go to this strategy. I think this works a little bit better. Just timing my shots to hit him when he jumps up, and just keep jumping back and forth. Like I said, whatever way works best is, the way to go. Now that I've ran out of weapons, though, now I gotta time my punches to hit him right in the head as he jumps back and forth. Which, if you time it correctly... Another thing about this game, which I hadn't mentioned previously, is if you hit an enemy and they're flashing, you can time it so that even though they ran through you, they end up not doing any damage to you. It's just one of those things to manipulate the game, so you can actually do a lot of damage. That's going to be especially useful when we get to the Joker, the final boss of the game. We'll actually be using that a lot, hitting him so that when he runs through me or shoots me, he ends up not doing any damage to me. Now here we go at stage 4, and we start off with more of the random linebacker frog guys, which are just kicking my butt right off the start here. And you also got to deal with those things that drop the little robots from the up there as well. It's annoying as all heck. Wait for the flamethrower guy. There we go. Now jump up and punch him in the face and take him out. I gotta build up my supply real quick of all my projectiles because I used so many of them during the last boss battles. We see the Joker talking on the monitors in an internal loop there in the background. This game really, it came out in 1989, so, the NES was pretty well known at that point, but I still think the game looks great, sounds great, gameplay's great. One of the better overall titles of the NES. Definitely one of the better licensed games. I mean, we don't get licensed movie games like this, and especially today. We just don't get them anymore. No developer wants to put any time whatsoever into a licensed game, but I think I've ran on that way too much, and I'll probably continue to rant on it because I'll be doing the licensed games throughout the rest of the month of July for my runs, so... But at least some of the licensed games that I chose really aren't bad. The only ones I chose that were really awful were the Back to the Future games, which were made by the worst company that made video games in the 8-bit era, which was LJN and a developer known as Beam Software. They just made some of the worst titles that ever came out. Okay, continuing over, gotta make sure I don't hit the ground there because of all the gears moving up and down. Punching that guy and continuing on, drop down. There's going to be another flamethrower guy over here. I'm just going to jump up and shoot him before jumping over the gears. And continuing over, I'm going to... That stupid one of those mine-dropping robot things is over there, as you already saw. Which is a little bit of annoyance, especially considering I try to make this jump over without getting hit. And there we go. And jump up and spring over again, not getting hit. Kill a little, moving robots on the ground. And now we're in the next stage, 4-2. Gotta watch out for the random, not only robots, but the lightning beams that keep going back and forth. Just time it so that I don't end up getting shocked when I jump through. And continuing on to the right, now we got fire to deal with. We've already had to deal with random, mechanical gears moving and weird poisonous liquid. We now have fire to deal with. It's already bad enough we have flamethrower guys, but we just have fire burning on the bottom there, just non-stop fire. No real reason. Continuing on past the little robot guy, shooting him before I make the jump. Like I said, it's always good to know what's ahead of you. Now this part's actually pretty challenging, timing your jumps so that you make it through these gears without getting hit by the lightning, as well as dealing with the other little robots and stuff on the platforms. The platforms, of course, on the bottom, the little moving already conveyor belts are actually, since they're so small, they're really a pain in the butt to maneuver around, but it ends up just making for great gameplay, great platforming. And kill that guy and head back up, take out this little robot with a punch. And for these upcoming tanks, I really just suggest staying on the bottom step here and jumping and shooting after each fire. Just timing your shots correctly so that you end up not taking any damage. Since I'm so low on health already anyway, it'll just end up being to my advantage not to take any extra unnecessary damage. Considering I only have 2 hits left. Once again, I'm going to repeat the same process I did on that first tank down there. I'm just going to time my jumps to get past the fire and shoot him when I can. There we go, he's taken care of. I accidentally got hit, but I gained a heart. Take out the little robot there. He ends up dropping missiles. Jump up and take out that guy. Oh good, he actually gave me some health. So I actually have gained a little bit of health. There we go, another health. Thank God, because I was running really low there. Okay, watch out now for these dropping robot mines, and watch out. Jump. Another one of the random robots, some stupid robot dropping mine things, or whatever they're called. I don't even know what they are. Okay, continuing on, watch out for that guy. Okay, there's the exit. And here we go with boss number 4. These 2 moving things will shoot at you whenever they're on line of sight with you, so whenever they see you, basically, they're going to fire at you. And since the only path they can't travel down is the middle tiny path, I'm going to use that completely to my advantage, and I'm going to jump up and down between them and shoot them when I can with the batarangs. I find it to be one of the more useful strategies in order to take out these 2 robots. Now, they have individual health meters, so when you take one out, the other one gets ticked off and goes into a second phase. So that is something to watch out for. So I try to equal out my damage equally between them, just to make it a little bit easier when it comes down to only one of the robots left. Okay, waiting for the fire, go up, shoot him, wait for him to come down, continuing through, and just continue doing this little loop of a process, and it ends up being a pretty simple overall boss battle. Only 1 or 2 more hits. There we go. And like I said, he springs into action with a different mode, but since I have enough health left, even if he runs into me, I should be good. And like I said, I can also manipulate, like I just did there, so that when I was hitting him, even though he drove through me, he ended up not doing any damage to me. It's just one of the advantages of the game, kind of like the manipulation of the game or whatever. And now we can see Batman as we're flying into our final destination here to begin stage 5, the final level of the game, unfortunately, the final level of the game. And definitely one of the more challenging aspects of this game, because it has one of the the hardest jumping areas in the entire game. I guess they saved the best for last. Okay, flamethrower guys nicely stacked upon each other. Take them out and take a little roving robot on the bottom.